Fallout New Vegas on the Nintendo Switch. Will that ever happen? Well, the popularity is certainly there. Fallout New Vegas is a favorite of many. You can say that it's the most popular and most loved Fallout game out of the modern day Fallouts. So with that being said, you have to wonder if a New Vegas Nintendo Switch port will ever happen. Is it even possible? Some people say that it won't, and I totally understand that. The engine that runs New Vegas is incredibly old, that some might say you might as well look into porting over Fallout 4 on the Switch than New Vegas or Fallout 3 simply because of the engine being a bit newer for Fallout 4 and being similar to Skyrim's engine, which is also on the Nintendo Switch. Plus, keep this in mind. Even though Fallout New Vegas is a Bethesda Softworks title, it wasn't developed by their own studio, Bethesda Game Studios, which developed Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76. It was developed by Obsidian Entertainment, who just created The Outer Worlds, which was inspired by New Vegas, and by the way, that game's now on the Switch. However, would there be legal issues for Fallout New Vegas port since Obsidian is now owned by Microsoft and since Obsidian developed the game? Or does that even matter now, since Bethesda Softworks published the title? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about that. So let's talk about the possibility of New Vegas being ported over to the Nintendo Switch despite the obstacles that might arise. Why hasn't there been any effort made to put Fallout New Vegas on the Switch, let alone a Fallout title? Maybe there has been and we just don't know it yet. Maybe they are planning some big surprise for us. I know it's wishful thinking, but come on, if it's possible despite the obstacles, where is it? Borderlands just came out with their own Switch port. Not just one Borderlands game though, 3 of them did. Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and Borderlands pre-sequel. 3 games for one price! Even though the Joy-Cons for the Switch were never really intended for first-person shooters, they had some great things to say about the Switch port. The Nintendo Switch isn't exactly known for its power, especially ports can be hit or miss. Thankfully, this port doesn't fall into the latter category. I was actually impressed by how well each of the Borderlands games ran. Even on Xbox One, the pre-sequel would struggle with its frame rate sometimes. But for the most part, it and the other 2 games were optimized extraordinarily well for the Switch. Aside from its controls, Borderlands Legendary Collection is an excellent port. It runs as smooth as butter on a Switch, shockingly, both docked and in handheld. Granted, the frame rate is capped at 30 FPS, which for some isn't ideal, but it's pretty consistent. So needless to say, the Borderlands port over to the Switch is doing pretty well and should continue to do so. Then you have BioShock, which also just made its way to the Switch. BioShock underwent the same treatment that Borderlands did as far as a port goes, meaning all 3 BioShock games were ported over to the console. When it comes to performance, according to another gaming website, BioShock 1 and 2 are incredible. Performance, which is the most important thing in a port like this, is where BioShock and BioShock 2 stand out. It's very fluid. Both in TV mode and in portable mode, we have 30 FPS at almost any time. Territories like Smuggler's Den and Arcadia from Part 1, or Pauper's Pop and Rapture from Part 2, are extremely fluid, no input lag. When it comes to BioShock Infinite, it is the quote-unquote crown jewel of the collection. We were surprised to see that BioShock Infinite weighed twice as much as the first 2 deliveries in its download. It is a very big difference, but when you start playing, you realize that this port is excellent, almost impeccable. In part, the adventure in Colombia was much more open to color with more pronounced lighting that directly affected the artistic plane. Here, Virtuosos completed the effort with a result that is hard to believe, since it is in this version where the experience comes closest to what is seen on the consoles of Sony and Microsoft. In fact, we have put the PS4 on the same monitor on which we have played with our Nintendo Switch, and while there is some cut textures, greater presence of artifacts, and the obvious 60 FPS drop to 30 FPS, the result is total fluidity. Clearly, BioShock was a great series to port over to the Switch. Also keep this in mind, the first BioShock game came out in 2007, and the first Borderlands game came out in 2009. Then the second BioShock game came out in February of 2010. Fallout New Vegas came out in October 2010. Just a little food for thought there. Now let me ask you this question. Why isn't there a Fallout New Vegas Switch port? There is no reason now not to have at least Fallout 3 on the Switch if for some reason they have legal obstacles for a New Vegas port. Will Bethesda follow Borderlands and BioShock and release a collector's edition of their own? Maybe a Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas bundle. I know that's a bit optimistic thinking there, but hey, Borderlands did it, BioShock didn't, why can't Fallout do it? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I would love to see what you guys have to say. Would you guys really like Fallout New Vegas on the Switch? Would you rather Fallout 3? Would you rather Fallout 4? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and like I said, comment down below. All right, everyone. I thank you all for watching. This is Joe, signing out.